And Natalie, was he a hitman or someone with an axe to grind? Police right now searching for that brazen gunman who walked up, waited outside of the Hilton Hotel for the CEO of United Healthcare Group. 15-year-old Brian Thompson from Maple Grove, Minnesota, gunned him down right here in the heart of Midtown earlier today.
Social media has been in a frenzy for the past few years, and it feels almost as though we've become desensitized to the madness. Now, this wasn't going to initially be the first video on this channel. It was actually supposed to be a long-form documentary on the recently convicted killer Wade Steven Wilson, or the Deadpool killer, who committed the 2019 murders of Diane Ruiz and Christine Melton. However, seeing as how social media is in a mixed feelings frenzy right now about the recent assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who was just recently shot on December 4th at 6:45 a.m. in New York City, I thought that this might be a better, more topical video to start us off with. Now, I say that the internet has mixed feelings, but the feelings are not so much mixed as they are heavily skewed towards, I didn't see anything, I won't say anything. Similar to the case of Ken Rex McElroy in a way, actually. For those unfamiliar, the BuzzFeed Unsolved Network does still have their cohesive video up on the timeline of events available for viewing if you want to check it out, and I will put it on the screen. But the crux of the story was that there was one man who was seemingly untouchable by anyone, even the law. And one day shots were fired with over 60 people from the town present, killing Rex McElroy, and somehow, despite all of those people being around, nobody saw who fired the killing blows. Why do I bring this up? Well, because the general sentiment regarding Brian Thompson's death has just been claim denied. Now let's take a look at some of the reasons that people seem to be less than sympathetic about his death. One Twitter user in particular described the situation perfectly, stating, "The CEO of UHC was executed, and the reaction from the American people they are pissed that they either have no health insurance, denied health care, or pay too damn much for their health care plans. Can you blame us? We're fed the fuck up." Under Brian Thompson's leadership, United Healthcare had a denial rate of 31% of claims. That's 31% of their reported 52 million consumers as of 2023. That means approximately 109,200,000 people in the United States have had their health insurance claims denied by United Healthcare. That is 109,200,000 people who might have needed life-saving treatment or medication that might not have received it because it could not be afforded. These numbers are even put into more somber perspective when you realize that most of those claims are not claims denied based on any legitimacy. They're denied on the basis of not paying out for their consumer's health, when that's exactly what the consumer is paying you to do in the first place. In fact, in November of 2023, United Healthcare found themselves in some controversy regarding knowingly releasing an AI bot with a 90% error rate that overrode physician determinations of medical necessity. If you don't know what this means, it basically means that if you had United Healthcare in 2023, your claims are most likely being processed through a robot who couldn't read when your doctor says that you need life-saving treatment. So, thinking it's not necessary, you don't get the treatment. An unconfirmed source on Reddit states, "I worked in insurance verification getting pre-auths and stuff for a couple years. I did UHC for a while. The rule was they need to be notified within 24 hours of admittance to inpatient. They would roll back the time that they entered the ER before they admitted as inpatient and started counting from there instead. UHC is the worst." So, with that in mind, one can reason why, with how many people are covered by an insurance agency that doesn't really seem to want to pay them under any circumstance, many are rightfully desensitized to this. The way they see it, why should we care that he died? He didn't care about keeping any of us alive. And to really punctuate the irony of this whole situation, a man who dedicated his whole life to United Healthcare, who put on a suit that morning, drove into Manhattan, was on the streets at 6:30 in the morning, just to be put down by a stranger in a hoodie with a silencer, while less than an hour later, the very shareholders that you have been bending over backwards to prove your worth and value to so they don't axe you out of your own company, step over where your body was most likely still lying on the cold floor to go upstairs to the meeting that you were supposed to be at, to probably discuss how you dying that morning is going to affect the stock price. I'll let that sink in for a moment. After the CEO of United Healthcare was gunned down in front of the location that they were going to have their meeting, the stockholders still held the meeting. Your job does not care about you. Now, in all, This is still a developing story, and I will be releasing updates on my Twitter account at JokeyBond, as well as posting a full long-form video about the case when the dust settles and more facts are confirmed on my Patreon. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Shoki, and I will see you guys in the next video.